I think it was important to get to know her off the court because I do think that, connections, getting to know people really play a part in the success of teams. And it's really awesome to get to know her as well.
The Caitlin Clark effect is taking the WNBA by storm. Fans are going wild, and the league is receiving more attention than ever before. This surge in popularity is changing the entire landscape of the WNBA. But the biggest impact isn't just on the fans, it's on the players themselves. So, what do they think of Caitlin Clark and everything she's brought to the game? While Caitlin's skills have earned praise from many around the league, what about her direct opponents who now face her in the WNBA? Do they see her any differently? Caitlin's teammates also have unique insights into her character, things that most people never get to witness. And when the biggest name in the WNBA draws this kind of attention, even iconic legends feel the need to weigh in. But here's where it gets interesting. Lexie Hull is revealing untold things about Caitlin Clark that might just change how you see her. The first big name on our list is Breanna Stewart, one of the most prominent players in the WNBA. She has won multiple WNBA MVP awards in her career so far, with the latest coming in the 2023 season and her first back in 2018. Alongside these accolades, she also claimed a WNBA championship trophy in that same 2018 season. 2 years later, she secured another ring in 20x20. Breanna Stewart has all the accolades to prove she's a legend of the game. She embodies the skill, leadership, and impact the WNBA needs from a superstar, both on and off the court. She is a perfect example of a global ambassador for women's basketball, making it incredibly valuable to hear her speak so highly of Caitlin Clark. Perhaps it's because Breanna Stewart was once in a similar position to Caitlin Clark. Coming out of college, she was also the #1 overall pick in the 2016 WNBA draft. She understands the mindset required for someone with that much hype entering the professional league. She also knows firsthand how harshly star prospects are treated by their opponents. It is exciting to see this kind of competitive mindset directed towards Caitlin Clark from someone who is currently at the top of the league. Breanna Stewart spoke about making things tough for rookie Caitlin Clark during the season, even while her team had just won the WNBA championship. This shows that Stewart is a fierce competitor who sees Caitlin Clark as a genuine threat. This is the kind of competitive spirit that leads to consistent success in the league. Breanna Stewart clearly views Caitlin Clark as a peer, despite the difference in their professional experience. She is absolutely right in believing that WNBA players are competitors, but still need one another to elevate the league as a whole. Breanna Stewart has experienced the rise in WNBA viewership firsthand and has been in the league long enough to meet the star predecessors who paved the way. She understands that Caitlin Clark is already one of the WNBA superstars changing the game. Stewart's response reflects this awareness. She is both appreciative of the change Clark is bringing and determined, as a competitor, to make Clark prove she deserves all the glory.
It's going to be a collective win for all. And now that, she's a part of our league and a part of our 144, even though we're competing against each other, we're making sure that we're continuing to lift up this league together. And I think that's what's the most important thing behind it. Obviously, we have to put the best talent on the court every night, but making sure that, there's growth. I think that when I first started in the league, some teams weren't even making revenue.
The WNBA has been changing rapidly. To understand this evolution, we can look back to another legend who retired in 2022, Sue Bird. Bird finished her WNBA career as one of the most decorated players in league history. Listening to someone with such a long and successful career offers valuable perspective on the young career of Caitlin Clark. Bird's career began as the WNBA's first overall pick back in 2002, and her experience allows her to understand the immense pressure Caitlin is facing today. She emphasizes that the pressure is even greater now because the game has grown significantly compared to when she was drafted over 2 decades ago.
Let's not forget that she probably has arguably the most pressure that any, women's basketball player has ever had coming into the WNBA. I mean, sometimes it feels like the weight of the WNBA is on her shoulders. That is both, like I said earlier, a compliment and warranted in a lot of ways. But also maybe a little bit unfair to put so much on.
She's right in saying that the young rookie shouldn't be carrying an entire sports league. There is no reason Caitlin Clark should be receiving so much hate and animosity from other players. Then again, resilience is just another notable trait of Caitlin Clark. While other WNBA players and fans praise her talent, few acknowledge her mentality. One of the players who has given her credit is WNBA champion Kelsey Plum. You might expect more pushback since Plum was speaking on the Pat McAfee show, where Pat McAfee teased her relentlessly, saying that the league now belongs to Caitlin Clark and that the Kelsey Plum era is over. There was also a direct passing of the torch moment between these two stars back in their college days, when Caitlin Clark surpassed Kelsey Plum's record as the all-time leading scorer in NCAA Division I women's basketball. People like Kelsey Plum and Caitlin Clark achieve records like these because they show up every single day to put in the work. These are achievements in the style of a marathon, rewards for longevity and resilience. Kelsey Plum recognizes that Caitlin Clark has this same quality and has given her well-deserved praise for it.
I think that Caitlin, what people don't talk about is mentally, she's an absolute beast. So I think that is going to help her more than anything, because it's not if you fail, it's when you fail and how able your bounce back, your resilience.
Yeah.
So Caitlin will be great. She can shoot it from deep and she can pass. All those things will really, really help her at the next level.
The mental adjustment is an often overlooked aspect of transitioning from college to the professional league. Caitlin Clark seems to be handling it well. Her start in the WNBA was rougher than expected, but she improved as the season progressed. That's a clear sign of Caitlin Clark's mental toughness. Every time she faced setbacks, she found a way to rise above them. It was very promising to see how she navigated the challenges of adapting to a new league. It's definitely strange that people would hate on Caitlin Clark, given all the positives she has brought to the league. Even fellow WNBA stars recognize this. Caitlin has been selling out tickets at an unprecedented rate, and everyone has benefited financially. Listen to how Dallas Wings star Satou Sabally discusses this on Paul George's podcast.
Caitlin is the face right now, and that's also good. Like, she's selling out gyms, of course. Like, why would you hate against that?
Exactly.
We had a sold-out home opener. Like, I think it was a practice game. Like, it wasn't even serious. And it was sold out. Like, we benefited from that because now we have all our fans there, and they're excited, and you have new people coming into a market. She is her own economy, and that is amazing.
Caitlin Clark being her own economy is a powerful and true statement from a fellow WNBA star. It's refreshing to see that Satou Sabally appreciates Caitlin for who she is, rather than being jealous of the attention she receives. These are exciting times, and WNBA players should embrace this new economy with open arms instead of resisting it out of bitterness. Many WNBA players already recognize that Caitlin Clark will soon be collecting numerous WNBA awards. Sabrina Ionescu says that the accolades will surely come as long as Caitlin keeps up her work ethic. Sabrina was one of the pioneers of the three-point revolution sweeping the WNBA since her first season in 2020, when she also won Rookie of the Year, just like Caitlin Clark.
I'm not the least, bit worried about what she's going to be able to accomplish in the league. I just know she's going to continue to work really hard and stick with it, and good things will happen to good people.
Accomplishments come to those who deserve them. WNBA players who tirelessly work on their craft, such as Sabrina Ionescu and Caitlin Clark, are bound to be deserving record holders for the skills they develop. Sabrina holds the single season record for most three-point field goals made with 128 in the 2023 season. However, in the 2024 season, Caitlin Clark made her mark in the WNBA history books by sinking 22 three-pointers in a single season, giving her the second highest single-season total in league history. An incredible feat in just her rookie year. Many have compared the playing styles of these two WNBA stars as they both excel at shooting from long range. Sabrina famously went head-to-head with Steph Curry during the NBA All-Star Weekend. At the press conference afterward, she teased that she could even team up with Caitlin Clark for a rematch. That's the level Caitlin Clark is already reaching right out of the gates. She is on par with the all-time great shooters, who are now enamored with her game and eager to play or compete alongside her.
Caitlin Clark into this next year. I was just curious what you guys thought. Could we see that next year? And what you guys just think of her game as far as, being an elite shooter?
Well, we've been talking about finding different ways to change this up next year. And I think he has a partner in mind that's going to join him. And so I'm open to any partner that could help me win and take that belt that he has up front and center away from him.
One thing is certain. We will all be tuning in to watch this legendary matchup if it happens. Caitlin Clark will undoubtedly surpass Sabrina's WNBA single-season three-point field goals made record in no time. So, Sabrina would be fortunate to have her as a partner against Steph Curry. In fact, anyone would be lucky to be teammates with Caitlin Clark. Her skills create an intense gravity for opposing defenses, something other stars have already praised. All the attention is on her, not just from fans, but also from the defenders tasked with stopping her. This focus gives her teammates more room to shine. It works because of Caitlin Clark's unique mentality, selfless and team-oriented. While other stars might develop massive egos from having such popularity and talent, resulting in tunnel vision that limits a winning style of basketball, Caitlin Clark is built differently. Lexie Hull is one of Caitlin Clark's teammates and was the 6th overall pick in the 2022 WNBA draft. If Caitlin Clark is the Steph Curry of the WNBA, then Lexie Hull could very well be the Klay Thompson in that pairing. She offers strong perimeter defense and adds even more shooting alongside Caitlin. The two have developed great chemistry both on and off the court. They're good friends who hang out at events that aren't even related to basketball. You can see their camaraderie in the way they banter at post-game press conferences and on social media. Most importantly, it shows in how they play together on the court. There has been a noticeable improvement in Lexie's game ever since Caitlin Clark joined. Lexie was immediately excited when she found out that the Indiana Fever had drafted Caitlin Clark. She was quick to praise Caitlin's offensive prowess and how it would instantly transform the Indiana Fever's offense. Caitlin's presence makes the game much easier.
She's great. She's a great player, great person. Obviously very hard to defend. So she's bringing a great offensive game to the Fever, and just excited to see how she does this year.
Once they started playing together and spending time off the court, Lexie quickly realized how mature Caitlin Clark is. She truly appreciates Caitlin's personality and mindset. Despite the challenges that her position brings, Lexie likely sees examples of the personal struggles more than most people, as she spends time with Caitlin away from the cameras. Her insight into Caitlin as a person is valuable, as it gives us another dimension to appreciate her greatness.
She's so mature for being 22 years old and having the attention that she has. It's pretty incredible. And I think, outside of basketball, she's just a 22-year-old girl who goes and lives life and has fun and does everything normal. And I think something that's so hard is it's so hard for her, I think, to go out and do normal things because the attention that she has.
Fun is an underrated aspect of winning basketball. We can bring things back to the Steph Curry and Klay Thompson comparison because that dynamic duo had a lot of fun playing together. It's important for a team to enjoy playing together, to stay motivated and committed every day. Oftentimes, the success of a team relies on the chemistry between teammates in the locker room. It's crucial for any franchise player to foster the right atmosphere for their teammates to flourish. Of course, Caitlin Clark is not all fun and games off the court. You don't develop skills and success like hers without taking the work seriously. We fans can't even begin to comprehend the amount of effort she puts into her basketball craft. Hearing from her teammates like Lexie Hull helps paint a clearer picture of her dedication. Caitlin Clark is described as being intense behind the scenes, even during simple practices and drills. This overly competitive attitude is exactly what you want from your team leader. It sets a good example for the rest of the team and shows that Caitlin is the type of player you can rely on. You would want to be her teammate rather than her opponent. You can easily trust her with the ball, knowing she has obsessively practiced her shot hundreds of times. This determination also lifts the spirits of everyone in the locker.
I think, we play against guys during practice, we play against ourselves. But if her team's not winning in a scrimmage or a drill, she's competitive and she's gonna do everything she can to win. And I think it just shows the type of player she is. If it's not working, she's gonna try to figure it out. And you definitely want her on your side.
Caitlin Clark is exactly the type of person you choose to go to battle with on the basketball court. Her teammates, like Lexie Hull, must have been motivated to practice harder after witnessing Caitlin's work ethic and wanting to match it to some degree. The effects of this are evident in their improved statistics, and we will see how far this improvement goes as they continue to develop in the coming seasons. Another teammate of Caitlin Clark is Kelsey Mitchell, who was the second overall pick in the 2018 WNBA draft by the Indiana Fever. During a post-game press conference, she was interviewed about Caitlin Clark and the team. Throughout the interview, Caitlin tried to redirect the attention to her teammates, demonstrating her leadership qualities. The entire team feeds off the new wave of attention brought in by Caitlin Clark. Kelsey mentioned this herself during the press conference, sounding inspired by the fresh energy Caitlin has brought to the Fever. It's clear that this movement has given the team a positive boost.
Obviously, it's a good thing for women's basketball. I'm playing alongside this kid, so it makes everything, a little bit more dramatic, and the people are coming out to see this person. So we just do what we can. We embrace it. I'm pretty sure our organization can feed off of it, our, state of Indiana. So I think for us, we're going to utilize this energy for as much as we can possibly use it, and be happy that the women's basketball and the game, where it's going, is pretty positive.
The WNBA has consistently thrived on fresh talent coming from college. Many years ago, Arike Ogunbowale was also a college phenom like Caitlin Clark. She led her Notre Dame team to an NCAA championship in 2018. Arike's strong college run featured her fair share of heated scoring flurries and iconic clutch baskets. There are some similarities in the playing styles of Caitlin Clark and Arike Ogunbowale. This past season, both players ranked in the top 10 for both assists and scoring. Clark and Arike were ranked first and second, respectively, in three-point shooting in the league. Arike Ogunbowale is now in her prime. She was the scoring champion in 2020 and the steals leader in 2024, proving her prowess on both ends of the floor. She also just won the All-Star Game MVP award for the second time in her career. During the press conference after the game, she spoke about Kate.
Yeah, well, I've been a fan of her since she's been in college. And, we exchanged while she was in college because I just love hoopers. You guys obviously see my game, and I see, a lot of similarities. She knows how to get a bucket. She can create for herself. She can create for her teammates. And I just love her game. And it's fun playing against her. She brings a crowd every time. So I'm definitely going to show up. But playing with her, I kind of just got to pick her brain a little bit and just see how she thinks and just how she moves as a teammate. And she's an amazing player,
Arike Ogunbowale welcomes the crowd that Caitlin Clark brings with her every step. This is the mark of a true competitor and an all-time great performer. It's exactly the mindset WNBA stars should have toward Caitlin Clark. It's a positive sign that more WNBA players are embracing the changes Caitlin Clark's arrival has brought to the league. There have been controversial stories about jealousy and bitterness from other WNBA players toward Caitlin, but more and more stars are appreciating what she brings to the sport. It takes talent to recognize talent, and the legends of the game know that Caitlin Clark is already a